everyone, GrimmmReviews here with another Transformers review. Today we will be looking at 2025's Transformers Swapticons. Today specifically, we will be looking at Maximals, Tigatron and Cheetor, and Decepticons Megatron and Shockwave. Transformers Swapticons was first announced earlier this year as a line of simple twist and combine toys, where one character would make up the front of the vehicle or beast mode, while a second character would make up the rear. This toy line's first wave features very cute and chibified redesigns of classic characters from the G1 and Beast Wars continuities, with later waves expanding upon that further. When I first saw these designs, they reminded me of the stout, stretched face designs of Mighty Beans, or something like how Marvel's The Superhero Squad show redesigned their characters for a much younger audience. And in many ways, this toy line is a revival of the Transformers Micromaster Combiner toy line from 1990. This toy line featured a similar gimmick of being able to combine various halves of vehicle modes, with the addition of each half being able to transform into its very own robot. Taking a look at the box here, we get some nice renders of the more cutesy robot designs, with Megatron and Shockwave at the top, as well as this nice open window that showcases the figures and the twist and combine gimmick. The back showcases the twist and combine gimmick further, with some of these very funny combinations here on the side, and we also get this nice gallery of characters for the first wave, and some simple instructions here on the bottom on how to attach the accessories. And after a quick unboxing here we have our Swapticons unpacked and in their respective vehicle modes. As you can see here, Cheetor and Tigatron combine to form the front and back of this very stout, blocky cheetah. Their beast mode consists primarily of this yellow plastic that runs throughout, which of course ends up leading to this nice golden crest on front, which let me see if I can get the lighting a bit better on that. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, so we get this nice yellow plastic, this nice golden crest with black spots, and these piercing lime green eyes. And just taking a look at this guy a little bit, this guy is dorky and chunky, and my goodness, I love him so much. Like, I would have never picked these guys up probably if I wasn't doing this show, and in a way, that makes me sad because these guys have kind of grown on me, not gonna lie. But getting further onto the vehicle mode here, or beast mode, like I say, he's primarily of this yellow plastic. We get some nice shiny blue paint right here that makes up Cheetor's shoulder, which we'll get to that in a bit. And we get some nice, this kind of yellow, this mustard yellow plastic here at the center for the rotating, and then the tail here, which has some nice molded detail. If I can, there we go. There's some nice molded detail here. And I'm just going to get this guy out of the way here real quick. That way we don't have any focusing issues. Throughout, you also get some nice molded fur. And overall, yeah, he's very dorky. He doesn't have wheels or anything, so he doesn't really move. His legs technically can rotate 360 degrees, and his tail can rotate. But yeah, what you see is basically what you get. And that's basically Cheetor and Tigatron's cheetah mode, which of course, if you look on the bottom here, you just get the molded detail for their robot modes. But basically, to transform these guys, all you're going to do is, the gimmick here is that you just twist. There's a couple latches here that you just have to kind of unlock, and then I usually do it kind of slowly because I'm afraid, because this will raise the heads out. The heads are on this little spring, but I'm afraid that over time these heads will wear and tear, so I try to be very careful with them at the moment. But next up, let's just go to Cheetor first. To finish up Cheetor, move his arms down like so, make sure his head's all straight, and there we have Cheetor in his robot mode. And now for Tigatron, it is very much the same thing, except for a little bit of a difference. What we're going to do is we're actually going to take these shoulders, and these are on a little hinge here, and we're just going to shift them up like so, and then rotate them down and make sure the head's all forward. And then you're going to take the tail, and you are going to just rotate it out. I like to rotate it all the way up, makes it look a bit better. And there you have Tigatron in his little robot mode. Taking a closer look at our Maximals, Cheetor gets this very, very nice gold paint on the front here, which hopefully my camera can get across, which I don't know why it's being such a pain. Oh, there we go. I'm still trying to figure out this camera. It likes to do weird lighting things, but there we go. Get this nice, shiny gold paint. As long as it's like shinier, duller blue, almost silver, but I'm going to call it blue. Again, you get the nice lime green eyes, which transfer over from the robot mode, or the vehicle mode, which is just there on the bottom. Looking at the head here, we see the head. It's a very cute head sculpted Cheetor. I love it so much. It's just printed on this little cylinder, which makes it look very large, and is what reminds me a lot of the Mighty Beans. Like, I don't know why, just like you just remove that. I don't know. I just bring it up because it's that little nostalgia factor. I guess for articulation, Cheetor's arms can move 360 degrees. Yeah, riveting. I know. Fantastic. And the head can rotate 360 degrees, I guess, too. So you can get maybe a tiny bit of posability. Tigatron. Get this nice white plastic on front with this very metallic turquoise kind of color as well, which is very nice. And as opposed to the lime green, you get these nice orange eyes, which let me get a little bit closer in there. There we go, just a little Tigatron. Little boy. And looking at his face there, it's very similar to Cheetor's face in a lot of ways, but it's just printed again on this little cylinder. And it's very cute. I really do like it. And of course, you can move his hands 360 degrees, and I guess his shoulders can go up and down if you so choose for some reason. His tail can swing back and forth. And so, yeah, you know, he can move his hands out, and I guess you can get a little slapping action in terms of playability. I don't know, there's really not a lot you can do with these guys except sit there and look cute, but those are our Maximals. Setting that down for a moment, here, let's take a look at our Decepticons. Here we get this very Cybertronian-looking tank mode. It's made up of this darker gray plastic with some of these deep purple accents here and these hot pink windows up front that I really like. Let me get a little zoom in on there, just because I like seeing a bit of the molded detail we got going on there, and I'll do that for the rest. This thing is equipped with 4 black treads here with some nice molded detail, as well as these 2 gun accessories that just tab here on the top. And untabbing those and taking a quicker look, or closer look, sorry. Here we have the one gun, which is very reminiscent of Shockwave's gun arm. In fact, I wish there was a way to attach this in the robot mode. I'll talk about that in a moment. And the other is just a basic cannon here, slightly raised. That way you can, I don't know, shoot down jet fire or something. I don't know. Creating lore for these things, I guess. And I guess, you know, you can swing the turrets around. They can rotate 360 degrees. But again, there are no wheels here or anything of the sort, so they just kind of sit there and look cool. You can't really, I mean, you can kind of scrape it across, I guess. But yeah, to transform these guys, it is very difficult. No, it's the same thing as the first. So we're just going to see they connect here. We're going to twist, release the heads, and there we have Megatron and Shockwave. Rotate their heads forward, rotate this turret slightly for clearance, and there we have our Decepticons transformed and ready to suck this Earth planet dry. All right, so first thing is first, and I just did these how the box wanted me to. Megatron here, super back heavy. He just does not have the heels necessary to stand up properly, and this turret really doesn't do much for stability. In fact, it makes him a bit more back heavy. So what I really like to do and how I like to display these things is I just take off this turret, come around here, take off Shockwave's little gun, and I'm just going to tab that on the back here, rotate it down, and that's going to be the perfect height to make sure that he's propped up and going, and then you can just pop the turret on Shockwave here, and there's no harm, no foul, because this guy has some decent healage going on. And that's just the first comment I want to make, because it drives me nuts when figures don't stand. And basically, so yeah, transforming these guys are super simple, and then you can just rotate or flip out the arms a bit so they look like they're about to go in for a group hug. And there we have our Swapticon Decepticons all ready to go. Taking a closer look here at Shockwave, Mr. Shockwave, evil scientist. We see he's made up of this more deep purple plastic again. We see he has his iconic mono eye here, and I really like that glowy effect they got going on there for the yellow. And it's just that same kind of print situation going on, printed around. Just get a good little look at that. It's all printed detail. Oh, this was a mistake. That is going to bother me. It's slightly out of line, I think. Oh, no, no, why? Why did I have to do that to myself? You know, we're just going to ignore that. I'm not going to cut it out because you guys got to share the pain with me, but, so regardless, these things are fun, they're cute. Articulation-wise, head can rotate 360 degrees, arms can flap out all the way forward and back, and these treads here do have some movement. They don't really do much for stability or anything like that, but you can technically just get a little swivel rotation on them. If anyone knows what they do, let me know. I guess for Shockwave, you can rotate them around to where they click in place, and that just kind of keeps his arms splayed out just a little bit. I guess if you like that look and that look works for you, that's perfect. Taking a look at Megatron here. Megatron has this brilliant silver paint that just goes throughout the front of his body here. I love how that looks so much. So much. You also get this deep purple Decepticon badge here, and these black gloves with some molded detail in there for the fist. And they didn't have to do that. That is appreciated. It's always appreciated when they do small details like that. The body is just kind of molded in there. Again, this nice silver. I just bring it up. I love silver paint. And I know that's going to scuff probably over time, but I'm glad they put it in. And of course, like I said, you can swivel these guys' arms out so they can get the same kind of slappy action, I guess, if you so wish. Get a Starscream one and reenact the many times. Oh, that didn't quite work out. Yeah, never mind. That doesn't work out as well as I thought. That's fine. That's fine. Moving on, the big feature of these guys is that you can take the various halves of each robots and vehicles here and then mix and combine them to create brand new vehicles, however you really want. So for example here, you can take Megatron, and then you can take Tigatron, and then you just fit their heads together just on a little kind of screw type, and then just push gently, line up the tabs here, and you can technically lock them in different positions if you want. I don't think it really adds anything, but either way, just going to push in gently, line up, and then just tab it into place. Take his legs, and just remember to shift those back, move the tail, and then you can get a tank with legs, because why not? And then, of course, you could take Cheetor, and then you could take Shockwave, do the same thing, twist, combine. Oh, whoop. Forgot I did those things with the treads there. Make sure the treads are back down. And then you can get a cat with a gun. And that's the kind of the gimmick going on. And I love it so much. It's so fun and fiddly. It's fun just to take these guys apart and put them back together. But of course, you can customize it even further. Why not? So we're going to separate these guys again. And then we're going to take Cheetor. And then we're going to take Megatron. And we're going to combine that to form, well, you've heard of Cat Dog. I guess this is Cat Tank. Why not? Or you can take the two back halves here and combine them together. And you can get an Abomination. But wait, there's more. If you really, really want to, and I know you really, really want to, guys. I know you want to so much. You can go even further, and you can have the cat, the tank, and then what you can do is take the accessories and swap them over to where you get where you can get a cat with his black bobtail. That also doubles the last thing you see before you meet the 13 primes. Or you can get this tank with his back gun and a very familiar looking hairdo. And that's kind of the gimmick of these things. It's customization and mixing and matching. And that's what makes these things very, very fun. So we're just going to take the accessories and pop them back into place like how they're supposed to go. And there we have our Transformers Swapticons back in their respective vehicle modes, ready to go. Closing out here, I find these Swapticons to be just the cutest little novelty. While they don't do much, their simple and fun gimmick and relatively low price makes these things a great little toy, as well as just a series of very cute collectibles with some nice paint applications and adorable face prints. The vehicle modes are very dorky and blocky, and the lack of wheels and articulation really hinder the play factor, but I don't find it to be a deal breaker because the cute factor and fun gimmick more than makes up for it in my opinion. If I had to say anything, it's that these guys would be perfect as smaller gifts for things like gift bags or stockings. And the vision I am seeing is that these guys would make for perfect keychains or decorations if you can attach something to the top of the head here. Imagine an entire Swapticon tree complete with your favorite characters TV fighting and looking cute, or have a Swapticon hanging from your rear view mirror. I feel like there's a lot of potential there if Hasbro continues this line and adds in the customization option. And yeah, I personally would like to see this line continue, and I would like to see Hasbro continue to try and perfect this formula because despite its strangeness, I do think there is potential here in several ways. But hey, what do you all think? Let me know down in the comments below. This has been GrimmmReviews. Don't forget to hit that like and sub button, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!